How often have you committed to changing something in your life or moved towards a goal only to fall back into old patterns of behaviour? You beat yourself up and convince yourself it's just never going to happen for me. In this episode, we'll explain why this keeps happening so you're able to be more aware and therefore more compassionate with yourself.
We'll also run through how to begin transforming your outdated and unhelpful beliefs so you can move forward with energy, excitement and confidence for the future. Because you deserve to thrive. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. And also Lola, who's just decided that she wanted to sit on my lap as we're doing this. So she's here too. She might give some input.
So today we're going to be talking about getting out of your own way. Specifically, we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs and how to move past them to embrace success for the long term. But before we get into that, I just got to update you on what a week it's been for us.
It really, really has. We've what have we done? We did our workshop on relationships and how to,
which was just so beautiful, wasn't it?
So amazing. How to reclaim the connection, compassion,
had fantastic feedback on that,
and intimacy. So, do you know what was really beautiful about that? How many men came to it, and how many men actually did a bit of the Q&A at the end. It was just so incredibly heartwarming to see men showing vulnerability. So thank you. If you're listening to this podcast and you did come to our workshop, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone else that came as well, because it was the first time we've ever done anything specifically around midlife relationships. It's part of our 8-week program, but we've never done anything focusing specifically on that. And boy, are we glad that we did. And actually, I've already said to James we might be doing some more stuff around this. I'm going to make him do some more stuff around this because it's a really, really important conversation. And so many people got so many aha moments from it to help bring that connection, compassion and intimacy back to their relationship. So
that was a fantastic evening running that.
It was so much fun. And then we've done a workshop as well.
Yeah, one of our big 4 clients. We've done a workshop on thriving in the hybrid workplace. Obviously, I'm sure many of you and many companies are adapting to the challenges of the new hybrid model. You know,
it's really hard for people.
It's really hard for people and for organisations. You know, trying to establish what the rules, routines, boundaries are. In a world that's still quite uncertain. So we're really thrilled to be able to deliver that workshop. And again, we've got incredible feedback on that. And
incredible questions. There is a lot of anxiety around going back into the office, especially, so many people started their job in lockdown or just before lockdown and had, a couple of weeks in the office. It's not unheard of for people not to have actually ever been in the office. So a lot of the grads that this company has working for them, it's very, very overwhelming to go to a big building in London or wherever and interact with people that they don't know, since they've been working in silo for so long. So if you are feeling like that, obviously do reach out to us as well, because we've got some tools and techniques around that to help that we shared on that workshop.
We also found out that we've been put on the Amazon Music platform, which is amazing. So if you're listening to this now, you can say, Alexa, play podcast Midlife Mentors, and we will appear magically in your home.
Don't worry, that's a good thing. And James told me when I was saying on another workshop that I was doing on my own the other day, I said, we're in the top 2% of global podcasts. He said, no, we're not. We're in the 1.5.
We are in the 1.5 now, according to Listen Notes, which is incredible.
Yay! It's so awesome. And we've done loads more podcasts, loads more interviews. I did a great interview yesterday morning with Child Free Lounge on Instagram about being child-free, which was a really vulnerable conversation for me to have. I've never shared that conversation with anyone other than close friends on social media. So If you check that out, go to the Child Free Lounge and you'll see the live on her page. And she's going to be on our podcast as well.
Yeah, and we were on the Hot Mess Moms podcast as well, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah, that was fantastic. What an amazing conversation.
We were. So Hot Mess Mums podcast. Again, that's really, really high up in the global podcast. What's the word? Charts. That's the one. Charts. High up in the charts.
Oh dear.
Coffee, please. This is brain fog. This is what I keep saying to myself. I'm getting brain fog, James. You'll have to forgive me. So yeah, that was an amazing recording that we did with them as well. I don't know when that's coming out, but we'll obviously share it with you.
And we've got a stack that we're guesting on next week as well, like a load of podcast appearances, which is awesome. Really, really exciting.
You should have seen the way James just looked at me when I was I felt like he could have helped me a little bit with finding the word charts.
No, I felt like your brain fog jumped from you to me. Confused me.
He just looked at me with utter confusion, thinking, oh God, we're going to have to stop and start again. But we won't.
That'll be, our Saturday nights drinking our non-alcoholic gin and tonics.
I know. We really smashed it hard last night, people, with the non-alcoholic drinks. So we are talking today about getting out of your own way. And we're calling it that because, quite frankly, so we see this all the time. In various degrees, we've talked about this before. We wanted to focus on limiting beliefs in particular. So many people come to us and and this happens to us too, come to us and they're so frustrated, they're so down on themselves, and they're just in this never-ending cycle and negative loop of wanting to get something and move to another expanded version of themselves in their life, but they keep coming unstuck. There's self-sabotaging behaviour, the inner critic, all that sort of stuff that we've done podcasts on before, but it all stems down to yourself. And getting out your own way, and the way that we get out our own way is really identifying what limiting beliefs are holding us back.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this is really, you really want to pay attention to this podcast. This is really the fundamental thing that helps you embrace transformation and stick to it, guarantees your long-term success. Because, what we see over and over, we can work on things like habits, things that can derail you. But actually, if in the first place you don't believe you can change your habit, you still won't. And this is why sometimes, clients will initially struggle with things like, the evening glass of wine, the chocolate biscuits, because we can coach them on the habit, but it's not until we actually get down to the limiting beliefs and actually getting them to believe that they can change the habit, then they can make the change. So it does underpin everything. As we always say, you cannot outperform your self-identity, or to put it another way, in the words of Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And let's be really honest about this. The actual mechanics of improving yourself, the mechanic side, are fairly easy, right? You just need to eat more healthily, move your body more, do the mindset exercises. But actually, the psychology behind it is what gives you the success. We always say 20% mechanics, 80% psychology. And that psychology part, doing those mindset reps, is so, so crucial, because that is what's going to give you success, not only in the short term, but for long term. You're talking about making a lifestyle change. And for that, we want to change the neural pathways, change our beliefs, change our self-identity, basically step into who we want to become. Yeah,
and I think that when we're looking at people's goals, we will always get them to deep dive into what some of the roadblocks are that are going to come up for them. And unbeknownst to them, a lot of the times they'll be external. So, I have this going on, I have that going on, I have this going on, that going on, this going on. And then we dive deeper and deeper, like peeling layers off an onion, and basically we get down to the biggest roadblock you're ever going to have is yourself, and the limiting beliefs you have around yourself going for the thing that you want. And here's the thing, uncovering those can be quite uncomfortable. At first, having awareness that you are responsible for your own world, experience, mostly to a degree, about what you're experiencing is down to you, and what you're thinking about yourself and the world can be a bit too much of a step too far sometimes for people to take responsibility. It's quite a sobering thought to think, hang on a minute, I'm thinking this way, and that's why I keep holding myself back. That's why I keep doing that habit. That's why I keep sabotaging my efforts every time I get going. It's because it's the thought pattern in your mind. And some people don't really want to take responsibility for that. Some people really don't want to. Sorry, Lola's squiggling. There we are. Some people don't want to take responsibility for their own part to play in what's happening in their world. Full stop. They'd rather just blame external factors.
Exactly, and we do see this a lot. People look at external, go, it's external. Well, here's the thing, like if life throws something at you that makes you suddenly busy, say suddenly you're in a high pressure career role and you've got a big thing to deliver. Yes, that is an external thing, and you can say that is external. I will make my excuses around that. If, however, consistently you are just saying all the time that you're working 15, 16-hour days, that you never have time for yourself, never do anything, that isn't about external. That is about a limiting belief about the time you can create for yourself and what you can achieve.
About whether, here's the thing, I was thinking right at the beginning when we started talking about this subject, even down to I can't carve out that time for myself to do that morning routine. I just can't. I haven't got time for that. It doesn't fit into my lifestyle. I can't exercise. I can't plan my meals, blah, 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 blah. Actually, if we were to deep dive with a client, if someone said that to me, I would keep going and going and going until we got to the inevitable belief behind that, which is I'm not worthy. Or I'm not worthy of spending that time on myself. I don't feel like I deserve to spend that time on myself. Other people deserve my time more than I do. And then kind of going back through past history of where that even came from and starting to rebuild that into a more positive belief system is what we would do with one-to-one clients and what we do on our coaching program as well, our 8-week coaching program. But yeah, it's when people say, like James said, we do hear this a fair amount. It's I don't have time to do that, or I was at this event and this happened and I've just got a really busy time at work at the moment, or I've got a really busy time in my family life at the moment. Basically what you're saying is that's all more important than you, and what's the belief system behind that is I'm not worthy of that. Yeah. I don't deserve that.
Let's break it down to really simple and really common example, right? Which is, the well-quoted stat that more than 97% of dieters put on the same weight or more, I think, within like a year of finishing their diet. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, dieting is a terrible way to lose the weight, and I'm using weight in inverted commas there, you want to lose. So if you listen to our podcast, you know we don't believe in diets at all, and you don't be focusing on weight loss, you want to be focusing on fat loss. Most diets are going to put you in a massive calorie restriction, which means, yes, you will lose weight very fast by making yourself really miserable by restricting what you can eat. Consequently, that leads to a miserable emotional state, and you can't wait to finish the diet, even if you're getting the results. Now, the results are coming because you're losing like a lot of water weight initially. Yes, you're losing fat, but then chances are your calorie deficit's so big, you're losing muscle as well, so your metabolism's slowing. As soon the diet's not sustainable, so when you finish, you actually go back to eating what was normal for you before, your metabolism slowed, you actually put on more weight. But the other big thing, that's the mechanic side of it. The psychology side is somewhere within you, there is likely a belief about your ability to lose that body fat and keep it off in a sensible and sustainable fashion over the long term. So this is why our beliefs really start to matter, because yes, we can get up and do the mechanics. You can be eating, your lettuce leaf a day or whatever and seeing the weight come off. But if you're miserable doing it and there's a part of you that's like, I just don't believe I can ever keep this up, then you are going to rebound at some point. What we want to do is start engineering our beliefs to match our new desired behaviour and our desired outcome. And we have a thing we talk about, the be, do, have model, don't we, Claire?
Yes, we do. I just wanted to add something. I just wanted to give a real life example rather than that one as well. I wanted to give a real life example of myself. So I, for many years, absolutely hated what I was doing for a job. I was working in PR. So for about 14 years, I was scurrying away, starting, networking with other people, doing stress management consulting, doing business coaching, setting up my own business. I think I set up 2 that I never followed through on, all round coaching. And I did everything right, in inverted commas, everything right. Okay, so I was doing all the stuff, I was doing all the business courses. I even built an online business before online businesses were a thing. So I look back now and I'm like, my goodness, Claire, that was amazing. You built an online business from scratch before anyone else was. I didn't see it through because there was an underlying imposter syndrome that I was not good enough. And another belief I had was I cannot make money doing what I love. I have to suffer a job in order to make good money. In order to make good money, I must do something that I don't like. And God love my parents very, very much when you dive back about where that belief system's come from, because we form beliefs at a very, very young age. When you dive back to belief systems from childhood and where that might have come from, you know, my dad loved his job up until I was about 11, and then he got he got demoted, and there was something that happened at work. I don't know whether I've got that quite right. If he's listening to this, he might get on the phone and say, Claire, what was that all about? That's not great. But there was something that happened in his work environment that, reduced his pay. He was having to do different hours, and it was really hard. I remember being in the family home, and it was really, really hard. And that belief system was, my dad is doing that and he's unhappy, but he's doing that because he has to. He has to bring in money. Money is more important than happiness. Therefore, you just suck it up and do something you don't like in order to make the money. So I never saw anyone, even in my family or in outside my family, really doing anything they loved and making money from it. So that's where my belief came from. Now, I don't have that belief.
Because you've worked on it, right?
Because I really, really worked on it, and I never quit reprogramming my mind with all the tools that we give our clients, all the NLP stuff, all the hypnotherapies, everything that we give people as a toolkit to really drill it down, find out what's holding you back, getting out your own way and moving forwards. And here's the thing, nothing is better than experience. Just keep going. If we fall, get up. Keep going. If we fall, get up. And all those experiences where I let that belief system stop me, it actually just drove me further to be where I am now, where I don't believe for one moment that you can't do what you love and make an enormous amount of money for it. And
that's because you've worked very hard on it.
Yeah,
and we're going to come on to that.
Sorry to give that. I know I kind of hijacked that then, but I wanted to give. You know, I do think it's really beautiful when we all share our stories. I know I really respond to when people share their own personal story rather than just examples. So I hope some people might really resonate with it. I know it's a lot of things for our clients. They want to do something they love, but they're indoctrinated into thinking they can't do what they love and make really great money from it.
Yeah, and it's true. What Claire said there, she has done a lot of work, continues, and here's the key, continues, right? Because
I've got loads of limiting beliefs still. Loads.
The psychology part is the hardest part. So this way everyone goes wrong. Everyone thinks like actually, the physical part, the mechanical part is the hardest. Like, how will I manage to work out? How will I manage to eat more sensibly? Actually, that's not that hard, and it's particularly not that hard once you start changing your beliefs. The hard part is actually...
The hard part is them saying it's hard.
Yeah, the beliefs change, because here's the thing. It's a process you need to go through, and I could best illustrate this with a metaphor. If you work your body consistently, day in, day out, after 4 weeks, you will feel and notice the difference in your body, right? With your psychology, you don't really know until you get challenged by a situation, and that could be 6 weeks, 6 months, a year down the line. You'll suddenly realise you're actually responding in a very way and go, actually, I feel very differently now about the situation, because now clearly the work I've done has changed my beliefs. And we're going to dive in on how to identify your limits, how to change them, but we're going to go back to that be, do,
I
have,
know, I'm so sorry, totally
because that does tie in. So most people operate from this have, do, be model. When I have more time, I will do that thing, and then I'll become that thing.
I'll be happy, I'll be fulfilled.
It's destination focused. When I've got more time, I'll start going to the gym. That's so that when I have the time is the thing you have. The do is like the action. I'll go to the gym, and then I will finally be healthy. But what you're doing there is you see you're focusing on the externals there. So the bit you're missing is actually starting to be healthy already and starting to foster those healthy beliefs. So we flip it on its head and say be, do, have.
It's like a little bullseye. The B is in the middle.
It is. Start being that healthy thing. Start cultivating that healthy mindset. Do the actions. We're going to touch on that again in a minute. And then you will have the health that you're after. So you just want to reverse it. I hope that makes sense to you.
Can you see you'll just be waiting forever? You'll just be waiting forever. If you wait to be the person that is going to do the thing that you know is going to get you the have, which is going to get you that, oh, you know, now I feel healthy, I feel energized, I know that I've got a great life, you know, a fit, healthy life to come. You know, if you're waiting to be that person in order to do it and then have it, you will honestly be waiting forever, you know, and that's how, where I got to. I was like, my goodness, you know, I can't keep just doing external focused and waiting. So I've got to convince myself basically that is something that I can have, is that, you know, I'm the sort of person that can love what I do and earn great money for it. I need to be that person. I need to embody that person. I need to think about what that person sleeps like, breathes like, gets up like. I need to literally embody all of those qualities so that I can become that and have the things that I want.
Exactly that. So limiting beliefs, they're tricky. So we've all got a bunch of them. And here's the thing, some of them could be quite general. I really common one, like, I'm not worthy. So when you're attempting to transform in some way, that could play out in a number of areas, because that's a general belief. It could sabotage your ability to, you know, start your own successful business, to make money, to hit your health goals.
I think that's the underlying one.
It's an underlying one for a lot of people.
Most people.
You may have one that's really specific from a specific childhood event, like I'm not able to keep weight off. You know, I will always keep putting weight on. That might be something that's driven from childhood. So you might have a specific one, you might have general. What you need to do is consider, actually, for one moment, your end point. Look at your goal. Look at not just what you want to achieve, but who you want to be. And this is where, again, people go on, they focus just on the goal, that having part, rather than what it feels like to have achieved that goal. So, you know, think about your goal, just one goal, and actually step into the person that has achieved that goal and think about how they feel, how they show up.
That's what I was just saying.
All their things every day. And then from there, you work backwards, you know, and think about what beliefs would they have that support them in having achieved and maintaining that goal.
One of the really helpful things around that is actually modelling. So, you know, you could choose someone. I know it's sometimes quite difficult to get into that place. If you're not really used to doing stuff like this, it could be really helpful to choose someone that you really admire, that has what you want. And just think to yourself, okay, what must they believe about themselves or the world around them, or believe about what's possible? Just get going, and just, you know, once it's like a flywheel, once you get going, they'll start to tumble out. Like, what does that really, in your eye, a successful person at the thing that you really want, what do they think? What do they believe? How, you know, how do they behave? What's all of that stuff around them, within them, that actually helps them achieve the goal that you're going after? So modelling is really, really helpful. You don't have to know the person in depth and really well, you know, and I'm not asking you to phone them up and do an interview phone call with them, although some of them might be open to that. But it's about just kind of really asking yourself these questions to get the awareness there, because as we always say, awareness precedes change. So just bringing some awareness to what belief systems you might need to have in order to become that person.
So it's really interesting. A lot of people think of their beliefs as fixed. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, that's the belief I have. It's like my personality. It's just fixed. Listen, beliefs, personality are not fixed. You can change them. You know, psychology shows us that. There have been loads of research experiments on changing beliefs. Neuroscience shows us that as well. You know, we can change the structure of the brain to embrace new beliefs. I'm going to give you the practical side now. How can you start to leverage this? Well, what you want to do is get a bit of paper and a pen. Write down your goal at the top. Do you spend some time exploring the emotion, like we said, of the person that's achieved that goal? Like, think about how they show up, how they feel, what they do. Under that, draw a line down the middle so you've got two columns. Be honest with yourself. What are the beliefs you currently have that may hold you back in achieving that goal? Just make a list of them. Once you've got the majority there that you think you need, I would order them in order of which ones are going to impact your achieving the goal most significantly. And then just look at the top 5. And here's the thing. We don't want to overwhelm our subconscious by working on more than one limiting belief. So once you've got your top 5, that's your target list to work on. Because if you can change your top 5 limiting beliefs, believe me, you will make a huge impact in your life. But you've got to start doing it one at a time. So find the one that's going to have the biggest potential impact negatively if you don't address it, and pick that one. On the other side of the bit of paper, you want to write down beliefs that would support me in achieving my goal. There may be ones that you have already, which can boost, or there may be like new ones that you think you need. And again, that modelling that Claire's talking about is super, super powerful. then try and match your top negative to a top positive. It will usually be the flip side. And what you want to do then is start working on transforming that current limiting belief to the new successful belief.
I'd also, that's exactly the process we take clients through. I also just thought of something else here. You know, what you might want to do as well is think about something that's just amazing in your life. Like, incredible. You know, like the thing that I've just shared with you. You know, there must be something in your life that you're incredibly proud of, or something you've achieved in your life that you're incredibly proud of. Just have a think about that and ask yourself, what did I believe about myself, about the world, yada, yada, yada? What did I believe in order to achieve that? Because actually, again, as much awareness we can have and gather, be curious. As much as we can be curious about how the reasons our life has panned out the way it has, you know, the better. So actually having an awareness about what amazing beliefs you've had around a certain thing would be really, really awesome as well. Again, to bring some compassion to yourself as well, and to think, okay, how can I take that one and put it into this part of my life that I'm really struggling with? That might work. You know, okay, I've achieved this, and this because of this belief. How could I utilize that in that area for this area I'm really struggling with?
Exactly that. Now, we're going to teach you a little turbocharging trick. So you might ask, oh, that's great. I've got my limiting belief I want to change. I've got my new supporting belief that I want to adapt to. What do I do now? First of all, write out your new supporting belief and stick it everywhere you can. Have it on your phone screen, put it on your laptop screen, stick it up around the house, stick it on your mirror so you see it. It will seep in by osmosis. And you want to spend some time each morning just affirming that belief. The second thing you want to do is leverage a psychological theory called Congruence Theory, which states that as human beings, our beliefs and our behaviours must always be aligned. Otherwise, we slip into a state of cognitive dissonance when they're misaligned, and then either our belief or our behaviour changes to bring us back to congruence, so they're in agreement again. So if you've got a new belief, what you want to start doing, obviously, is start manifesting the behaviours around it. So I am a healthy person who makes good choices, for example.
You're not going to become that person just by keep saying that to yourself,
No.
By the way.
You've got to start making the choices. But what you can do is, obviously, if you can actually affirm at the same time you're doing the behaviours, or when you're doing the behaviours, remember to affirm, you are going to speed up the process. It's like a reinforcement loop for your brain. So, you know, as you're choosing like a really healthy meal, go, I am a healthy person and makes good choices. As you're going to the gym, I'm a healthy person and makes good choices. I enjoy working out.
This is becoming easier and easier.
Over time, you will actually change the neural pathways in your brain. That new belief will become your new empowering belief. And you see what you're doing is what Claire was saying there. You're embodying the person that you want to become by becoming them already, by starting to act and behave with those behaviours aligned with the beliefs. And
if you're just sitting there thinking, oh, this sounds like much hard work, you go ahead and don't do this work and see what happens.
It is hard work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard work.
Oh, it's really hard work. It's really hard work. I sometimes think I really can't be bothered to do this. Sometimes I'll fall off the track and then think, oh, I'm feeling a bit off. Why am I feeling a bit off? And then I realise it's because, you know, I'm not doing that self-belief work on myself. I'm kind of going into negative thought patterns, and some of that stuff's coming up for me again. But if you're thinking, oh, that sounds like too much hard work, you're right to a degree. But if you don't do it, you absolutely will end up going back into old patterns of behaviour. Because as James said right at the beginning, you cannot outperform your own self-identity, and your self-identity is around your belief systems. So it's a non-negotiable, actually, when you look at it about, like, do I want to get there and hold on to it? Do I want to make it a part of my life? Is this something that's going to stay in my life? Is this something that I am going to embody and become forevermore? Then you have to look at your belief systems rather than just doing the same thing over and over and over and again, because that's the definition of insanity, is doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results. So this self-belief stuff is non-negotiable. You have to do it in order to get the life of your dreams, because we've all got memories, past pains, past stuff that's hurt us, and that's formed beliefs over time. A lot of those happen from childhood. They have formed beliefs, but they are holding you back from living your greatest life, and you deserve that. So getting to work on this stuff, and even just inquiring, getting curious about what those limiting beliefs are to get out your own way is essential.
Yeah, I'll give you some top tips here. Listen, the going is going to get tough. You're always going to get days where you're not feeling it.
Do it anyway.
It's just not going well, where you're actually not enjoying the thing. Then just stop, take a moment, have some awareness around it. Remember, I am not my thoughts. Go back to your why. Think about why you want this. What's the opportunity cost of not achieving this thing? Then go back in with you going, actually, you know what? I'm doing this because of X, so therefore I am enjoying it. This is my new belief. This is my new behaviour. The other thing, like Claire said, is don't be tempted to let it slip. You know, we've made that mistake. You think, I've nailed this. I can just let go of that one now and not do anything. And then, you know what? It'll come back to bite you, because our brain will always try and go back. Our subconscious will always try and go back to the old behaviours. It will seek the path of least resistance. Yeah. So just keep reinforcing. The more persistent and consistent you are with this, the greater the rate of change and the more embedded the change will become.
I'd also just add here, in that kind of thing that you might want to do in the morning and the evening, is just to keep visualising the person that has the belief systems that you know that you need to have in order to get to where you want to go. So, you know, visualisation, just how that person gets up in the morning, how they behave, how they make the bed, how they make themselves a coffee, what they do, what they wear, how they look at themselves in the mirror, how structured their day is, how much joy they have, you know, how much excitement they have in their life, you know, whether they're moving, whether they're eating really healthily. Just visualise that person and how it feels to be that person. And honestly, you will start to behave in that way just by osmosis anyway.
I hope
you
you
can
found
hear parakeets outside, can't you? Here in my bay, we've got parakeets outside.
Well, the sun is shining. We are going to head out now, see some friends in Marbella town.
Maybe
grab a paella on the beach.
Again. So, yeah, we'd love to know your thoughts on this. Please do reach out. As always, it's one of our passions. You know, James and I come from the psychology coaching background before we did all the physicality and the nutrition and the hormonal stuff. So this is our thing, this is our passion, because we know that if you don't dial this in and don't nail this stuff, nothing else is going to really hit the success button for you. So do let us know what you think around this. And as always, please like, share, review, and, you know, give as much support to us as you can, as you always do, and let us know how you're finding our podcast.
Yeah, love to hear from you.
Sending you lots of love. Bye.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under The Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.